children can make it work every time. So we better get up, stand up for your rights. Or someone would say we're coming in from the cold. Or another one would say the sun is shining and the weather is sweet. And someone would say, is this love? And everyone would say everything. Let's move it. Children, don't give up the fight. 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 Cause I never give up the fight. No. I never give up the fight. I never give up the fight. I never give up the fight. We're sick and tired of the hissing schism. Dying to go to heaven in a hissing schism. We know and we understand. Almighty God is a living man. And you can fool some people sometimes, but you can't fool all the people all the time. And now you see the light. You stand up for your right. Say, whoa, whoa, whoa,
Testing. 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 Damn. Hold on a second there.
You know, I never even knew about this. I even heard about this software that apparently rich people have been using for a while now, and then the police start using it. But you see, you know, and so we'll talk about this. There's actually 2 articles in the same publication in New York Times. The one called "Before Clearview Became a Police Troop." It was a secret plaything for the rich. And the other one is a police that's very same app, okay? And just read the first article. It's from the time, dated March 2020. It says, before Fairview became a police off the rich, investors and clients of the facial recognition startup freely use the app on dates and at parties and to spy on the public. On Tuesday night, in October 2018, John Cathamatis, the billionaire owner of the Gristedes grocery store chain, was having dinner at Capriani's, an upscale Italian restaurant in Manhattan, Soho neighborhood, when his daughter, Andrea, walked in. She was on a date with a man Mr. Cathamatis didn't recognize. After the couple sat down at another table, Mr. Cathamatis asked the waiter to go over and take a photo. Mr. Cathamatis then uploaded the picture to a facial recognition app, Clearview AI, on his phone. The startup behind the app has a database of billions of photos, scrapped from his website and a Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Within seconds, Mr. Cathamatis was viewing a collection of photos of the mystery man, along with the web address where they appeared. His daughter date was a venture capitalist from. I want to make sure he wasn't a charlatan, said Mr. Cathamatis, who then texted the man bio to his daughter. Mr. Cathamatis said she and her date had no idea how her father had identified quickly. I expected my dad to be able to do crazy things. He's very technological savvy, said Cathamatis said. My date was very surprised. Clearview was unknown to the general public until this January, when the New York Times reported that the secret startup had developed a breakthrough facial recognition system that was in use. Hold on a second, guys. My daughter's calling me. It's like I tell her that I'm on a conference call, and yet, this is the time that, I'm being disrupted. Hold on a sec. What? I'm on a conference call. I just wanted. Why should you want to use a recording thing? I'm doing a recording. They're recording it. I'm reading the article. Then they're doing a recording. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm back. So anyway, so the company. Let me go back and read this again. So it says, so Clearview was unknown to the general public until this January, when the New York Times reported that the secretive startup had developed a breakthrough facial recognition system that was in use by hundreds of law enforcement agencies. The company quickly faced a backlash on multiple fronts. Facebook, Google, and other tech giants sent cease and desist letters. Lawsuits were filed in Illinois and Virginia, and the Attorney General of New Jersey issued a moratorium against the app in that state. In response to the criticism, Clearview published a code of conduct, emphasizing in a blog post that its technology was available only for law enforcement agencies and select security professionals to use as an investigative tool. Again, these software companies, and especially even law enforcement, they'll use these type of programs, devices, what have you. And then when they get caught, then they'll start issuing some sort of haphazard shit like, oh, we don't use this to record conversation, or we don't use this to, in this case, apparently the rich people had been using this shit for months on end, spying on people and shit like that. So now they say that if they get caught now, only police and special professionals who within the security agency. You know what I'm saying? This is what they do, right? Never mind that probably thousands of people, privacy rights got violated. Okay? The post added, we recognize that powerful tools always have the potential to be abused, regardless of who's using them, and we take the threat very seriously. Accordingly, the Clearview app has built-in safeguards to ensure each trained professional only uses it for its intended purpose to help identify the perpetrator and victims of crime. The Times, however, has identified multiple individuals with active access to Clearview technology who are not law enforcement officials. And for more than a year before the company became the subject of public scrutiny, the app has been freely used in the wild by the company's investors, clients, and friends. Those with Clearview logins use facial recognition at parties, on dates, and at business gatherings, giving demonstrations of its power for fun, or using it to identify people whose names they didn't know or couldn't recall. As part of the ordinary course of due diligence, we provide trial accounts to potential or current investors and other strategic partners so they could test the technology, says Juan Tandat, the company co-founder. Mr. Cather Matidis first heard about Clearview from his friend Richard Swartz, another founder of the company, who served as an aide to Rudolph in New York. Last summer, Mr. Cather Matidis ran a trial project with Clearview at an East Side Mercedes market. The company used the system to identify known shoplifters or people who had held up other stores. Mr. Matidis says people were stealing our Haagen-Dazs. It was a big problem, he said. He described Clearview as a good system that helps security identify problem shoppers. BuzzFeed News has reported that two other entities, a labor union and a real estate, also ran trials with a surveillance system developed by Clearview. The application also reported that Clearview has been used by Best Buy, Macy's, and numerous other organizations. When Clearview first developed its facial recognition service in 2017, yeah.
Could you do me a favor and read the last 3 lines over again, man? They were messing with your voice over here, man.
Okay, sure. All right. So people were stealing our Haagen-Dazs. It was a big problem, he said. He described Clearview as a good system that helps security personnel identify problem shoppers. BuzzFeed News has reported that two other entities, a labor union and a real estate firm, also ran trial with a surveillance system that Clearview individual risky. The case also reported that Clearview has been used by Macy's.
They're doing it again, bro. Is there a way where you could move that I know you got the earplugs. If you don't, then just move around a little bit, because it sounds like they're messing with your signal. It's just going in and out.
All right. How about now?
Now it's better.
Better? Okay. All right. So it says, so BuzzFeed News reported that two other entities, a labor union and a real estate firm, also ran trials with a surveillance system developed by Clearview to flag individuals they deemed risky. The publication also reported that Clearview software has been used by Best Buy, Macy's, Kohl's, the National Basketball Association, and numerous other organizations. When Clearview first developed its facial recognition service in 2017, Mr. Tondat and Mr. Swartz were uncertain about who might pay for it, and they courted a range of clients, including real estate firms, banks, and retailers. At the time, Clearview was seeking outside investment. Many of the individuals the company approached got personal logins to the app. Clearview received a seed investment around about $1 million in July 2018. Its backers included the billionaire investor Peter Thiel, a venture capitalist David Scalzo and Hal Lambert, an investor in Texas who runs an exchange traded fund with the ticker symbol MAGA, which track companies that align with Republican politics. I like the app, Mr. Lambert said in the interview. I've used it to talk about what we're doing in the space. I showed it to friends of mine, potential investors. They thought it was amazing, he added. They said, how do I get that? And I said, you can't. Mr. Scalzo, the founder of the investment firm Kurinaga Partners, said in an interview that his school-aged daughter enjoys playing with the app. They like to see it on themselves and their friends to see who they look like in the real world. It's kind of fun for people. A spokesman for Mr. Thiel did not respond to a request for comments. When Clearview was seeking its Series A round of funding, which was completed in 2019, the startup contacted a number of venture capital firms, including Sequoia Capital and Coastal Ventures. Access to the app was offered as a perk, according to people familiar with the company's fundraising attempts. Doug Leon, a billionaire partner at Sequoia, was given a login, according to 3 people with knowledge to Clearview operations. But his account was revoked when Sequoia declined to invest. A spokeswoman for Sequoia declined to comment. In September, Ashton Kutcher, the active terms venture capitalist, described an app much like Clearview during a YouTube series called Hot One, in which guests are interviewed while eating spicy chicken wings. I have an app in my phone in my pocket right now. It's like a better app, Mr. Kutcher said. It's a facial recognition app. I can hold up to anybody's face here and find exactly who they are, what internet account they are, what they look like. It's terrifying. Mr. Kutcher did not respond to a request for a comment. Mr. Tondat contended that Clearview is doing nothing wrong, that its app simply replicates what other search engines do. Instead of following internet users to search for people's public image by name, as one can do on Google, he said, Clearview allows them to do the search by uploading a face. For now, it's a power that Clearview controls and can give it out as they please. In October, Clearview asked Nicholas Casamatis, an expert on artificial intelligence, to help conduct an internal accuracy test. He did the work for free, he said, because he knew Mr. Tondat socially. The test consists of submitting the face of 838 federal and state legislators. Clearview algorithm accurately identified every one of the politicians. After the test was complete, Mr. Casamatis was allowed to keep the Clearview app on his phone. He said he had since run dozens of searches. I test it in surprising places, smoky bar, dark places, and it works every time, says Mr. Casamatis says. It's road testing. I do it as a hobby. I ask you for permission. It's like a porn. People like it. Okay, that is the end of the article on this one. And so, let's see. Let me just read a couple of some comments that was made from them, right, just to get an idea of what people think about this stuff. So this, some comments out of 220, right? So one person says, I'm only concerned about this on a personal level if the DMV, the State Department, Passport, and other government agencies who have my photos start allowing access to private companies like this one, because I'm not stupid enough to have uploaded my photos to any social media or anti-social site, right? So it says every photo is copyright and owned by either, dependent upon terms of service, the site they stole it from, the person in the photo, or both. Every violation is individual. Statutory damage are $750 to $30,000 per face, and going to the Napster precedent, the personal funds of the investors is up for grabs due to this being a willful violation. What an irony that Peter Thiel could end up broke due to a well-deserved mega verdict that springs from a privacy violation. Gawker and Nick judges should be in the front row of the courtroom last. Apparently, I guess you said they had a lawsuit and secured the individual one, right? I would stay away from Pastor Mercedes for many reasons. I love the way everyone in the story is fully oblivious to the implication of this device. They're not the only ones who have it. Do they even realize that other people are using it on them? Right? One person says, if I were on a date with a daughter, I would politely part ways and run up the hill. Creepy. And, you know, so he's going to say that now everybody has the ability to be a victim, particularly when it's the rich. Okay? Particularly when the people looking for investment in money. Do they know by violating people's rights? Because, you know, Facebook does it, but we give Facebook permission. And we don't even understand the implications of it. You know, look, I have a Facebook account, you know, I upload pictures on Facebook, but I'm not uploading anything that is, you know, I would consider to be, you know, like people uploading pictures like that. I don't understand why the hell people would even...
Fucking with your voice again,
Nigel.
Yeah, all right. So like I said, I have a Facebook account, and, you know, I see people post nude pictures on Facebook and all these other... I still don't understand why people would take naked pictures and stuff and send it over the internet. I wouldn't do it personally. I've never done it, okay? And people that know that, hey, nothing is private on the internet, and they still do it, right? I mean, it just goes to show you how the lack of concern about one's own privacy, okay? Unless, you know, it's somebody who we don't want to have that picture. Now, particularly when it comes to women. Women would post pictures, they would send, you know, men naked pictures or whoever naked pictures of themselves, doing all sorts of shit, right? But if the wrong person got their hand in the picture and they knew about it, then all of a sudden they get all mad and angry about violation of privacy. When you are allowing these people, the minute that you upload a picture to send to somebody in a text, in a whatever, okay, you don't think your phone company has a right to that? They have a right to it because you agree to the terms of service. You know what I'm saying? You just going by the notion that, oh, well, I still have my privacy. No, you don't, because you give up that privacy, right? Just like when you have a Facebook account. Every picture, video you upload, and when you install an app, right, like Messenger, right, it tells you in the terms of service if you read it, and you have to read it, but most people don't. You give them permission to own every shit on your phone, music, photos, videos, contacts. Okay? So, you know, when people want to talk about, you know, their privacy being violated, listen, you give them the permission to do it. So they're not really violating your privacy. You know what I'm saying? Because you give the permission. Right? So that's why we have to read these things. Okay? And that's why when we put stuff on the internet, we make sure that, you know, you don't put anything in there that's that can be used against you in such a way that, you know, people can hold you know, something over your head. You don't do that. Okay? So, you know, we have to understand that. It's just like, you know, and this person here, and he talks about people collecting DNA samples off of our drinks. This is what the police do. The police will go around the neighborhood. They will collect, you know, your trash, and they will swab it for your DNA, and they keep the DNA in the database to see if they got a hit. Okay, so our privacy is being violated every single day. You know, from the cigarette butt. I think I had read an article about that where, you know, you got the police were going there picking up cigarette butts, right? Collecting the cigarette butt, and then they will, you know, extract DNA who was smoking it, and they put it in there, and they get a hit. This is a criminal. So what's happens? They get a hit, and then they say, okay, we need to stake out this neighborhood. Because this person who's a criminal, who is wanted, you know, is living in this neighborhood. So now they have a greater chance of actually catching the person. And you can feel innocent and still store it in the database. You need to get no hit after you see it. They still store it in the database. And there's nothing you can do because you don't know about it. You know? I mean, this is what it's become to, you know? Earlier in my targeting, I was so afraid to even sit on the floor. You know what I'm saying? On the ground. You know, I used to collect. If I drink a bottle, I take that shit with me home. You know what I'm saying? And then put it in a trash can or nothing like that. Because again, this is how they have our DNA. They've been at our DNA. Okay, because this is what they've been doing. Right? And this is the erosion of her privacy. You know, and then they can always say, well, you threw it in the trash can. But even if it's that, you still have a level of something called privacy. You know, no one should have the right to take, the soda can that you bought, that you drank out of, you put in the trash, for them to take it now and go run it under, a machine to extract your DNA, so they can keep it in the database. Okay? It's like these people rushing up to these ancestry sites, right? They go and, the purpose of giving their DNA was for the sole purpose of finding out about their ancestry. But these companies are in league and cahoots with law enforcement. Okay? Who they hand over people's DNA to. Okay? So, again, even in those cases, you still have a level of expectation of privacy. And what these people have been doing is called deceptive. They have been engaging in deceptive practices, where they tell you one thing, okay, who's to even say the information that you're getting back is even accurate, particularly when they're giving your DNA to law enforcement. So you have to ask yourself the question, right? Was the purpose of them creating these so-called ancestry sites was to really give people a chance to look up to find out about their ancestry, or was it, initially a program run by law enforcement to get people to submit their DNA so they can store it in the database? You have to think about these things. You have to question these things. And the purpose of also that when they do find out about your ancestry through your DNA, why they don't get rid of it because it's no longer needed. Why do they maintain it and hold on to it until they hand it over to law enforcement? Right? This shit doesn't make any sense. So, and again, the ignorance of people, and the fact that sometimes a lot of these startup companies that does shit like this get their funding from law enforcement. Okay? Get their funding from the CIA, Department of Defense. We all know major universities get funded from government entities like the CIA and the Department of Defense when it comes to certain types of research. Okay? And in return for these types of research, these academic institutions, they get away with violation of people's rights. Okay? And the government don't care as long as they're getting the results, as long as their investment is going to be, is paying dividends. They don't care. I remember point who was posting on Facebook where they said every day I'm checking it, I'm in this. You realize what it is. Now, if somebody wants to surveil you,
with your voice again, man.
Now if somebody wants to surveil you, they don't even have to, do anything. They just have to put an app, any program on your phone because you're doing it through Facebook, right? So this is what they have society doing, surveilling themselves because these people in law enforcement have figured out a way to manipulate people to do their job for them. But now they don't have to spend the resources, to surveil you. You're doing it for them. You're telling them your move, where you're at, every single moment of the day.
Yeah,
Right?
Those two, those backyard. They've got
Yeah.
cameras that can base on. You basically got a device with a surveillance camera on.
Right. You know, and again, right? So again, you know, people have to take seriously the erosion of privacy. Doesn't matter where you're at. All our rights are being violated, and they've developed ways in which we're giving them permission to violate our rights, and there's nothing we can do about it. Okay, unless we delete our social media account, and even if we delete it, guess what? Because they don't have copies of everything that you've posted, everything that you've uploaded. They do. That's why we have to be very careful about what we put on social media. I'm not going to say what we say, but what we put on social media, okay? What type of images we upload, you know? What type of videos we upload. What type of videos that we keep on our phones. What type of pictures we keep on our phones. I will say when the military made the internet available, you don't think that they knew what it is that they were doing? Okay? You don't think they had a long-term plan? Okay? You know, one thing with the U.S. government is that they play the long game. Okay? While the rest of us in society, we play the short game. Because we like the short-term gratification. We like the short-term feeling of whatever it is that we're feeling, right? Whatever gratification we're feeling. We don't think about the long-term implications. You know, I took a Uber today, and he was telling me about, you know, what other people are doing and such and such. And I said, you should be concerned about what other people are doing. You know, I said, because, you know, you're thinking that what other people are doing don't affect you. You know, and he was like, you know, I just do what makes me feel good, and people should make them feel good. I said, yeah, but guess what? Not everything people do that makes them feel good is good for other people. All right? And he was like, well, I don't care about other people. I said, well, that's your problem. Because a killer won't do what feels good to him, but does it feel good to his victim? You know? These so-called venture capitalists will feel good what's good for them. But does that mean that's good for the people that they're financially robbing? Or financially, they're putting in a financial hole? Right? So we have to be very careful when we start saying things like that. And again, I always try to correct people when they start saying things like that because, you know, they have very short-sighted memory. Or short-sightedness, I should say. They have short-sightedness. Right? But some people will say, you know, well, you know, I can only be myself and that's it. But sometimes being yourself is not a good thing. Particularly if you're one of those people, if you're a narcissist, if you're a psychopath, and people are telling you to be yourself and they're feeding into that shit, you got, you know, these narcissists and these psychopaths go out there and they cause destruction in other people's lives. You know? So I always say, if you're going to be you, make sure that you're a good person. Make sure that you're doing good by people. Make sure you're not hurting people. If a person who is, you know, very destructive and leave a wave of destruction in their path, for people to tell them, yeah, be you, you're just encouraging that. So, you know, we have to be very, very careful when we're telling people that, particularly if we don't know them. You know? Typically, that's the gist of it, right? Particularly if we don't really truly know people and they tell them to be themselves. You know, like I would never tell a person who has psychopathic tendencies or thoughts to go ahead and be themselves. You know, that wouldn't be a good thing. Just like, you know, you can tell an abuser, yeah, be yourself. If that person is an abusive person, you know, You don't want that person to be themselves because, you know, they go around abusing other people. They may abuse you. Well, we can be very, very careful about what we think we say to people. Okay, so let me read the other article involved in this. So, here the New York Times is called "The Company." The company that might end privacy. Okay? And again, a little well-known. Now, all of a sudden, you got to find it. So again, it's like every damn thing now, because again, they have access to
Messing with your voice, Nudge.
Yes, I said, and now I have to sign it. Read it. They do it. You know, the news again.
Part of it. You know what they're doing now? They're doing to you what they usually do to me, which is make your voice go in and out, in and out.
So
What I usually do to fix that
is
take the inputs out, put it back in,
or whatever the
case is, like try to move around a little bit where you are.
And usually
that kind of
fixes the scenario for me.
at least over here. I don't know if it'll be the same.
Okay, all right. I took it out. I put it back in. So let's see if it sounds better. All right. So I was saying, you know, with certain news sites now, they want you to sign in, right? Either through your email or through Facebook or Google, right? So why do they want to do that? Because again, they want to keep track to see who's reading their, you know, their article, and also to send you, you know, ads and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So it always it's a money maker. Like I said, the government was you know, they played the long game with the internet thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's working out very well for them in terms of keeping us under surveillance and tracking our every move and stuff like that. All right, so a little-known startup helps law enforcement match photos of unknown people to their online images and might lead to a dystopian future or something, a backer said. Until recently, Hoan Tontat's greatest hits include an obscure iPhone game and an app that let people put Donald Trump's distinctive yellow hair on their own photos. Mr. Tontat, an Australian techie and one-time model, did something momentous. He invented a tool that could end your ability to walk down the street anonymously and provide it to hundreds of law enforcement agencies, ranging from local cops in Florida to the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security. This tiny company, Clearview AI, devised a groundbreaking facial recognition app. You take a picture of a person, upload it, and get to see public photos of that person, along with links to where those photos appear. The system, whose backbone is a database of more than 3 billion images that Clearview claimed to have scrapped from Facebook. Again, uses Facebook, okay, and YouTube, Venmo, and millions of other websites, goes far beyond anything ever constructed by the United States government or Silicon Valley giants. And that just says a lot, right? This goes far beyond anything ever constructed by the United States government or Silicon Valley giants. Federal and law enforcement agencies said that while they had only limited knowledge of how Clearview works or who was behind it, they had used its apps to help solve shoplifting, identity theft, credit card fraud, murder, and child sexual exploitation cases. Until now, technology that readily identify everyone based on his or her face have been taboo because of its radical erosion of privacy. Tech companies capable of releasing such a tool have refrained from doing so. In 2011, Google said it was the one technology the company had held back because it could be in a very bad way. Some large cities, including San Francisco, had barred police from using emission technology. But without public warning, law enforcement agencies have started using Clearview in the past year. According to the company, which declined to provide a list, the computer code underlying its app, analyzed by the New York Times, includes programming language to pair it with augmented reality glasses. Users would potentially be able to identify every person they saw. Wow. If you're wearing the glasses, I'm using this app with augmented reality glasses. If you walk on the street, when you look at a person, their name will pop up. Really, really incredible. Okay. The tool to identify activists at a protest or an attractive stranger on the subway, revealing not just their names, but where they live, what they did, and who they are. And it's not just law enforcement. Clearview has also licensed the app to at least a handful of companies for security purposes. The weaponization possibilities of this are endless, says Eric Goldman, co-director of the High-Tech Law Institute at Santa Clara University. Imagine a rogue law enforcement officer who wants to stop potential romantic partners, or a foreign government using this to dig up secrets about people to blackmail them or throw them in jail. Clearview has shut itself in secrecy, avoiding debates about its boundary-pushing technology. When I began looking into the company in November, its website was barred. Was a bare page showing a non-existent Manhattan address as a space of business. See, now you see this shit that they do, right? False addresses, an address that's supposed to be where their business is located, but it's not. So from the beginning, they knew what they were doing. They knew from the beginning that if they get caught, they can, be able to track them. Yes, but good reporters are doing great things. So, they what's this shit, right? So the company's one employee listed on LinkedIn, a sales manager named John Good, turned out to be Mr. Tondat. So why are they making these fake names, right? If they're supposed to be so legitimate, again, because if you're legitimate, you won't need to do this shit, right? But they knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. They knew the implication. They knew the violation they were committed. That's why they set up these fake shit, these fake addresses, these fake managers, what have you. You know what I'm saying? So they know, right?
The U.S. government created it.
Yep. So using a fake name, for a month, people affiliated with the company did not return my email or phone call. Okay? While the company was dodging me, it was also monitoring me. At my request, a number of police officers had ran my photo through the Clearview app. They soon received phone calls from company representatives asking if they were talking to the media. They find that Clearview had the ability, and in this case, the appetite to monitor whom law enforcement is searching for. So they were also monitoring law enforcement, right? So they're giving law enforcement the tool to monitor us, but the company was also monitoring law enforcement, right? So facial, and again, these are rich people, right? So again, they figure the rules don't apply to them, even when it comes to law enforcement, right? So facial recognition technology has always been controversial. It makes people nervous about Big Brother. It has a tendency to deliver false matches for certain groups, like people of color, and some facial recognition products used by the police, including Clearview, haven't been vetted by independent experts. Clearview app carries extra risk because law enforcement agencies are uploading sensitive photos to a server of a company whose ability to protect its data is untested. The company eventually started answering my question, saying that its earliest silence was typical of an early-stage startup in stealth mode. Mr. Tondat acknowledged designing a prototype for use with augmented reality glasses, but the company had no plans to release. Yeah, who knows who's been walking around in with this shit, right? Rich people. And he said my photo had rang alarm bells because the app flagged possible, let's pronounce this word correctly, anomalous search behavior in order to prevent users from conducting inappropriate searches. In addition to Mr. Tondat, Clearview was founded by Richard Schwartz, who was an aide to Rudy Giuliani when he was mayor of New York, and backed financially by Peter Thiel, a venture capitalist behind Facebook and another Clearview investor is a small firm named Perenega Partners. Its founder David Scarborough dismissed us, but Clearview making the internet searchable by face, saying it is a valuable crime solving tool. You want to always mix it up with the crime solving shit, but you know the majority of the shit isn't to be crime solving. The majority is to right to privacy. Right? It comes to the conclusion that because information constantly increases, there's never going to be privacy. This is what the guy says. You know, don't you guys understand this? All right, exactly from his mouth. These are these rich people. But if you violate their privacy, they will have the FBI, the CIA, the damn, police knocking at the person who violated their privacy door any minute, right? But yet they're going to turn around and say, because of the increase of information, that now there's never going to be any privacy, right? Okay? Laws have been determined what's legal, but you can't ban technology. Sure, it might lead to a dystopian future or something, but you can't ban it. It's okay for it to lead to a dystopian future, right? And again, people at the top, they don't care about, everybody else, the so-called little people that's worth about them out, right? They don't care about the little people, as long as their privacy is protected. But they can turn around and violate every one of our privacy, right? And they think it's okay. They think it's okay because, again, it's two different societies, two different set of rules, right? And they're in control of it. Okay? Mr. Tondat, 31, grew up a long way from Silicon Valley. In his native Australia, he was raised on tales of his royal ancestors in Vietnam. In 2007, he dropped out of college and moved to San Francisco. The iPhone had just arrived, and his goal was to get in early on what he expected to be a vibrant market for social media app. But his early ventures never gained real traction. In 2009, Mr. Tondat created a site that let people share links to videos with all the contacts in their instant messages. So Tondat then shut it down after it was branded a phishing scam, right? In 2015, he spun up Trump Here, which added Mr. Trump's distinctive photo to people in a photo and a photo sharing program, which fizzled. Dispirited, Mr. Tondat moved to New York in 2016, tall and slender, with long black hair. He considered a modeling career. He said, but after one shoot, he returned to trying to figure out the next big thing in tech. He started reading academic papers on artificial intelligence, facial recognition, and machine learning. And this is also Mr. Tondat had met in 2016 at what he met at the Manhattan Institute, a conservative think tank, right? And conservative people, let's say liberals, don't do the same thing too. And most likely, most of them than not, conservatives are behind a lot of these so-called surveillance programs that they like control. They like to be in power and want to control people. Okay? So Mr. Schwartz, now 61, has amassed an impressive Rolodex working with for Mr. Giuliani in the 1990s and serving as the editorial page of the New 2000. The two soon decided to go into a facial recognition business. The time that would build the app that Mr. Schwartz would use his contact to commercial interests. Police department have had access to facial recognition tool for almost 20 years, but they have historically been limited to searching government-provided images such as mugshots and driver's license photos. Okay. In recent years, facial recognition algorithms have improved in accuracy, and companies like create a facial recognition program for any database of images. Mr. Tondat wanted to go way beyond that. He began in 2016 by recruiting a couple of engineers. One helped design a program that can automatically collect images of people's faces from across the internet, such as government sites, news sites, and social networks, including Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and even representatives of those companies said their policies prohibit such scrapping, and Twitter said that it explicitly banned use of its data for facial recognition. Another engineer was hired to perfect a facial recognition algorithm that was derived from academic papers. The result, a system that Tondat described as a state-of-the-art neural convert all the images into formulas or vectors based on face jump, like how far apart a person's eyes are. Clearview created a vast directory that clustered all of the photos with similar vectors into name. When a user uploads a photo into a face into Clearview system, it converts the face into a vector and then shows all the scrap photos stored in that neighborhood, along with the link to the sites from those images came. Mr. paid for server costs and basic expenses, but the operation was bare bones. Everyone worked from home. I was living on credit card debt, Mr. Tondat says. Plus, I was a Bitcoin believer, so I had to post. By the end of 2017, the company had a formidable facial recognition tool, which it called Smart Checker. But Mr. Swartz and Mr. Tondat weren't sure whom they were going to sell it to. Maybe it could be used to vet babysitters or as an add-on feature for surveillance cameras. What about a tool for security guards in the lobby of buildings to help hotel guests greet guests by name? We thought of every idea, Mr. Tondat says. One of the other pitch in 2017 was to Paul Nealon, an anti-Semite and self-described pro-white Republican running for Congress in Wisconsin. He used unconventional database for extreme opposition research, according to a document provided to Mr. Nealon and later posted online. Mr. Tondat said the company never actually offered these services. The company soon changed its name to Clearview AI and began marketing to law enforcement. That was when the company got its first round of funding from outside investors, Mr. Steele and Curinator Partners. Amongst other things, Mr. Steele was famous for secretly financing Hulk Hogan's lawsuit that bankrupted the popular website Grokr. Both Mr. Steele and Mr. Tondat have been the subject of negative articles by Grokr. In 2017, Peter gave a talented young funder $200,000, which 2 years later converted to equity in Clearview AI, said Jeremiah Hall. Mr. Steele's spokesman, who was Peter's only contribution, he is not involved in the company. Even after a second funding round in 2019, Clearview remained tiny, having raised $7 million from investors, according to PitchBook, a website that tracks investors in startup companies. The company declined to confirm. In February, the Indiana State Police started experimenting with Clearview, then solved a case within 20 minutes of using the app. Two men had gotten into a fight in the park, and it ended up when one shot the other in the stomach. A bystander recorded the crime on their phone, so the police had a still image of the gunman's face and ran it through Clearview app. They immediately got a match. The man appeared in a video that someone had posted on social media, and his name was included in the caption of the video. It did not have a driver's license or haven't been arrested as an adult. So he wasn't in the government database, says Chuck Cohen, the Indiana State Police captain at the time. The man was arrested and charged. Mr. Cohen said he probably wouldn't have been identified without the ability to search social media for his face. The Indiana State Police became Clearview's first paying customers, according to the company. The police declined to comment beyond saying they tested Clearview app. Clearview deployed current and former Republican official to approach police forces. Now, here's the thing. Why are they approaching former Republican officials to approach police officers, right? Offering free trial and annual license for as little as $2,000. Mr. Source tapped his political connection to make government officials aware of the tool, according to Mr. Thornback. I'm thrilled to have the opportunity to help Cohan build Clearview into a mission-driven organization that's helping law enforcement protect children and enhance the safety of communities across the country. Yeah, okay. So you see, listen, we all know that protecting children is utmost important. But how these people are spinning this, because again, it's to say, well, it's okay to violate somebody's rights, the privacy, if they protect the children. But we all know that they're not doing to protect children. Okay? We know that. Right? The company's main contract for customers was Jessica Medeiros Garrison, who managed Luther Strange's Republican campaign for Alabama Attorney General, Brandon Fickle, an NFL agent engaged to the Fox Nation host Tammy Lawrence. Of course, we all know where this is going, right? Said in a financial disclosure report during the congressional campaign in California that he was a good consultant for the company. Clearview said it was a brief unpaid role and that the company had enlisted Democrats to help market its products as well. Okay, well, if that's the case, then why every name that's been given so far have all been Republicans, right? So, again, so the company's most effective sales technique was offering 30-day trials to officers who then encouraged their acquisition departments to sign up and praise the tool to officers from other police departments at conference and live, according to the company, and documents provided by law enforcement departments in response to public record requests. So Thornback finally had his viral hit. In July, a detective in Clifton, New Jersey, urged his captain in an email to buy the software because it was able to identify a suspect in a matter of seconds. During the department's free trial, Clearview had identified shoplifters, an Apple Store thief, and a Good Samaritan who had punched out a man threatening people with a knife. Photos could be covertly taken with telephoto lens and input into the software without burning the surveillance operation, the detective wrote in an email provided by the Times by two researchers, Beryl Lipton and Murrock and Freddie Martinez of Open the Government. They discovered Clearview late last year, while looking into how local police departments were using facial recognition. According to Clearview sales presentation review by the Times, the app helped identify a range of individuals. A person who was accused of sexually abusing a child whose face appeared in a mirror of someone else's gym photo. But the person behind the string of mailbox theft in Atlanta, a John Doe found dead on an Alabama sidewalk, and suspect in multiple identity fraud cases at banks. In Grainsville, Florida, Detective Sergeant Nick Ferreira heard about Clearview last summer when it advertised on CrimeDex, a list server for investigators who specialize in financial crime. He said he had previously replied solely to the state-provided facial recognition tool Faces, which drew from more than 30 million Florida mugshots and Department of Vehicle photos. Sergeant Ferreira found Clearview app superior, he said. Its nationwide database of images is much larger, and unlike Faces, Clearview's algorithm doesn't require photos of people looking straight into the camera. Wow. With Clearview, you can use photos that aren't perfect. Says for a person can be wearing a hat or glasses, or it can be a profile shot or partial view of their face. Now, again, how do they know if it's partial view or the person's wearing a glasses or a hat? How do they know it's that person? Right? So he uploaded his own photo to the system and brought up his Vimeo page. He ran photos from old dead-end cases and identified more than 30 suspects. In September, the Gainesville Police Department paid $10,000 for an annual Clearview license. Federal law enforcement, including FBI, the Department of Homeland Security, are trying it. As are Canadian law enforcement authorities, according to the company and government official. Despite its growing popularities, Clearview avoided public mention until the end of 2019. A Florida prosecutor charged a woman with grand theft after 2 grills and a vacuum were stolen from an Ace hardware store in Claremont. She was identified when the police ran a still from a surveillance camera to Clearview, which led them to her Facebook page and tattoo visible in the surveillance camera. The Facebook photo confirmed her identity according to affidavits in the case. We're all screwed. Mr. Thornton that says the tool does not always work. Most of the photos in Clearview database were taken at eye level. Much of the material the police uploaded from surveillance camera mounted on ceilings or high walls. They put surveillance camera too high, Mr. Thornton lamented. The angle is wrong for good facial recognition. Despite that, the company says its tool finds matches up to 75% of the time, but it is unclear how often the tool delivers false matches because it has not been tested by independent parties such as the National Institute of Standards and Technology, a federal agency that rates the performance of facial recognition algorithms. We have no data to suggest this tool is accurate, says Claire Grevy, a researcher for Georgetown University Center on Privacy and Technology, who has studied the government use of facial recognition. The larger the database, the larger the risk of misidentification because of the doppelganger effect. They're talking about a massive database of random people they found on the internet. The current and former law enforcement official said the app is effective. For us, the test was whether it worked or not, said Mr. Cohen, a former Indiana State Police captain. One reason that Clearview is catching on is that its service is unique. That's because Facebook and other social media sites prohibit people from scrapping users' images. Clearview is violating the site terms of service. A lot of people are doing it, Mr. Thompson, I'm sure. So, and he goes, Facebook, no. So because a lot of people are doing it on Facebook, no, hey, it's okay for me to do it too. You know, that is their mentality, and that is what the danger was going to do with Facebook, because Facebook allow companies to spy on its users, right? So, for example, you know, if I'm on Facebook and, you know, somebody posted something, you know, maybe an image of like a shoe that they may, you know, like, and they, you know, all of a sudden you'll see advertising from that company, shoe company, all over Facebook, right? Or if you're on another website, you go onto Facebook, you start to see ads from that website on Facebook, on your Facebook page, right? So Jay Nakara, Facebook spokesman, said the company was reviewing the situation with Clearview and will take appropriate action if they find they are violating our rules. Mr. Thiel, the Clearview investor, sits on Facebook board. See this shit? So there you go. See the connection, right? There you go. So Mr. Thiel, who is a Clearview investor, he sits on the board of Facebook. Right? Right? So meanwhile, Facebook is trying to tell you, oh, well, now if we find out they violated, but they knew about it. And as he says, as Mr. Sondat shrugged, he says, Facebook knows. Of course he knows, because one of your biggest investors is on the board of Facebook. You know, so see how the game that they play? You know, and when they get caught, then it's like, okay, well, we'll look into it. You know, but meanwhile, they knew what was going on. They knew what was being done, and they trying to deceive and fool the public. Okay? And people spoke this shit up. Oh, well, they didn't know. Yes, they did know. Nothing happened by chance. I keep telling people this shit. Nothing happened by chance as a whole. When things are affecting people as a whole, this shit don't happen by chance. Okay, you think this coronavirus, this shit happened by chance? No, it didn't happen by chance. This shit was purposely done. Okay? Some law enforcement officials said they didn't realize the photos were uploaded were being sent to and stored on Clearview server. Yeah, okay, you know, you're supposed to be law enforcement and you don't know this shit? Like, come on. Like, you know, if that's the case, all y'all motherfuckers should be fired. You know what I'm saying? But they always want to play dumb now, right? Clearview tried to preempt concern with a FAQ document given to would-be clients and says if customer support employees don't look at the photos that the police uploaded. Okay? Clearview also hired Paul D. Clement, a United States Solicitor General under President George W. Bush. Again, it goes back to the Republicans, right? These people with this type of mentality, right? To assuage concern about the app legality. In an August memo that Clearview provides to potential customers, including the Atlanta Police Department and the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office in Florida, Mr. Clement said law enforcement agencies do not violate the federal constitution or relevant existing state biometrics and privacy law when using Clearview for its intended purpose. Mr. Clement, now a partner of Kirtland Ellis, wrote that the authorities don't have to tell defendants that they were identified via Clearview, as long as it isn't the sole purpose of getting a warrant to arrest them. Mr. Clement did not respond to multiple requests for comments. Of course not. Remember, they always say, oh, they don't violate, but then why you don't want to answer questions, right? Why you don't want to make comments? Again, the memo appeared to be effective. The Atlanta Police and the Pinellas Police Department soon started using Clearview. So again, you know, this is a memo sent out by that company, right? But law enforcement doesn't even do its due diligence, right? Because, you know, they have their own, you know, attorneys and shit like that, right? So they can look it up themselves, right? But they're not going to do that, because if they do that and they realize that it violates people's privacy, then they can't use it. Then they can be held accountable. But as long as they want to play dumb and say, well, we didn't know, this is what the company lawyer said, or this is what the company said, then we're okay with it, right? I mean, and then, again, these are the people who are in charge of positions, of those type of positions, right? So, because the police upload photos of people they're trying to identify, Clearview possess a growing database of individuals who have attracted attention from law enforcement. The company also had the ability to manipulate the results that the police see. After the company realized I was asking officers to run my photo to an app, my face was flagged by Clearview system, and for a while showed no matches. Okay, so how about that? Right. So after the company realized that, hey, the police was running this individual picture. This individual is a reporter. All of a sudden now, when the police ran his photo, all of a sudden they get no matches, right? It's clearly true that the company was looking at law enforcement and who they were searching for, right? And then they could manipulate that to their, you know, advantage, you know? And then they says, when I asked about this, Mr. Thorndike laughed and called it a software bug. Okay? Yeah. It's creepy what they're doing, but there will be many more of these companies. There is no monopoly on that, says Al Gadari, a privacy professor at Stanford Law School. Absent a very strong federal privacy law, we are all screwed. There you go. I'm not even going to read more, because it's you know, you guys can read this either. But there you go. We are all screwed. Okay? No more privacy. There haven't been privacy in the United States for the past 20 years. Okay? Particularly when we're giving these companies like Facebook, you know, access to every damn thing. We're telling them where we're at. You know? So these people, they feel like, hey, you know, we can do this. You know, it's okay. Right? So, and like I said, you know, we're too asleep to ever wake up. You know, I don't think we're ever going to wake up, because it is ridiculous. And
Yo, Nigel, pardon me, man. Can you do me a solid while you're on the call now and send me a link to that one you just read? Because I don't think I got that one.
Okay, but I just sent it to you though, so you should have had it.
Oh, word? Like you
I
sent it down?
I sent both of it. I sent them both to you before.
Nah, I didn't get that one though, Nigel, because
really? Okay, let me.
People, man, they fucking with my calls, they fucking with my texts, with my emails, with my voice, all that, man. So they probably deleted it because they intercept the shit. You know what I mean? Especially with shit like that. They've been doing that with me, with other members of the squad too.
Yeah. Okay.
You already know what time it is, man.
Yeah. Okay, I'll send it.
Yeah, give me that solid. I just wanted to add this real quick, man. There's a movie that would, Raw Truth 7, member of our squad also, called The Circle, featuring Tom Hanks. I think that movie more than likely connects with this particular topic and fits like a glove, because it pretty much depicts the company that this young lady was working for, which was more than likely Google, but you know, they changed the names of the places of people to protect, you know how it goes. So it was more than likely Google who hired her. And then this whole thing with Facebook and people, you know, with the social platform that they have as a way of expressing themselves and all that, come together and form like this surveillance type of group, you know, like a neighborhood watch, but it's more internationally based, put it that way, where they all kind of congregate online. And what they did was they set up some shit where they would find somebody. Like, let's say there would be a fugitive that'd be on the run. Through their Facebook, because it's more than likely Facebook that they were using, you know what I'm saying? But they changed the names, like I said. So, you know, they were using that to all connect. And then there was like someone who knew somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody who knew who that was.
Yeah,
and then they knew where they were at. And they put the cameras on them on live stream.
Yeah.
And they, you see what I'm saying? And then they're like, you see what a good thing this is? You can catch criminals and all that.
Yeah, they're lying about that shit. Because of course, that's the easiest thing for them to say, right? Because people can do that, okay, people use criminals, whatever, yeah. But you know, the truth is that, no, they want to keep surveillance and tabs on everybody.
Exactly.
They want to be able to surveil everybody.
And that's the thing about this movie. I don't want to, you know, spoil the ending for nobody, but it relates to what you just said about them not wanting to be put on blast. Everyone else can, but they don't want themselves to be put on blast. It's interesting how on the article that you read last, it ended on the note of, we're all fucked. That's pretty much what was said in that movie, man. You know what I mean? That's why I find it very interesting how it mimics our reality to a T.
Yeah.
Saying these motherfuckers that write these movies and celebrities that play along these roles and shit, believe me when I tell you, they know what time it is. And they know
a lot of this shit is scripted off of real life shit. Okay, that they know about. Okay? You know what I'm saying? And they put that shit in the movies, making it seem like, yo, this shit is one in the movies. But no, that shit is real life, man.
It's another way of predictively programming people as well. You know what I mean?
Yes.
At the end of the call, alongside the ones that you sent me, so people could check those out. And I definitely suggest, and I recommend strongly that movie, The Circle, with Tom Hanks. That was recommended by me by Roy True 7. And that shit had me like, wow, you know, this shit, you know, how the saying goes, art imitating life or life imitating art, that shit right there. Oh, a perfect example. Nice, man. If you wouldn't mind, not to change the subject or anything like that, man, but how's it been with you on your end, man? How's your targeting been this past week? What's been going on?
Man, listen, man, it's the same shit, you know what I'm saying? Except now, you know, it's a little slightly less because, you know, what's going on, and now a lot of people out there in the street and shit like that. So, but even today, you know, at the bus stop, I got to the bus stop and shit, within like 2 minutes, the homeless guy shows up. You know, he stands across from me, staring at me, looking at me, you know, smiling, a smile on his face. So I have to ask him, say, yo, is there a problem, dude? Why you keep looking at me, smiling at me? You know what I'm saying? And he's the only person that's just looking at me, smiling at me, homeless guy. You know, so then he gets on the bus, after I get on the bus, and he sits across from me, not directly across from me, but, you know, 2 seats down. And again, he keeps looking at me, you know, smiling, what have you. And he keeps, you know, with the hand signal and shit like that. And then the other guy walks up and then he tries to shake the guy's hand. I was like, I'm not shaking your hand. You know, the guy was like, no, I'm not shaking your hand. You know?
Me as well in the past.
Yeah. Right? So,
shake the hand.
Yeah.
Could barely hear you, Nate. You need to speak up, bro.
Speak up, bro.
I was just saying that they've done that to me in the past, so I've had weirdos come up to me and shake the hand.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Clowns, bro. These motherfuckers is clowns. Straight clowns, bro.
Yeah, right. So then, you know, the bus drive off and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden, this one guy goes, you know, he starts talking to the bus driver and telling her that he hopes that she catches the coronavirus. I'm like, what kind of shit is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the conversation people were having on the bus. Okay, so he let you know that this shit was all set up, right? And who gets on the bus and tells the bus driver that he wished that she had the coronavirus? Okay? And so anyway, then the homeless guy on the bus now, he's putting his hands all through his hair, all through his beard, and then he takes his hands and then he puts it over the lady's head, and it's like he's like, you know, whatever he had in his hair or in his beard, he starts like sprinkling on her head. And everybody sat in the bus and didn't say anything. You know what I'm saying? So finally I got up and I walked to where she was at, and then she was getting up to get her. I told her, I said, when you go home, you need to wash your hair properly, because the homeless guy that's sitting behind you, he had his hand over your head, you know, after his hands been all in his hair and his beard, and he was putting something in your hair, okay? And she was like, thank you. She's like, I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? But it just goes straight out, you know, people would sit by and see some shit like that happen and not say anything. You understand? And it's like it's like a constant, what it is that they're trying to show me is that how they have society programmed. You know? So when they do shit like that, they do it to let me know that, yeah, we have society program, we can do whatever it is we want to do, and people are not going to do anything. They're not going to say anything. We can do whatever we want to do to you, and people are not going to do anything. And that's what happens. People are not saying anything. You know what I'm saying? They're not saying either they're participating, they're not saying anything. Right? So they love to do these little things for me to see that, you know, just how much they've conditioned people in society. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So what's been going on now is with you and the schooling? Because I'm assuming you're doing the schooling.
Yeah, man. So you know, I mean, yeah, they're like, you know, the minute I started like really participating in the class, and you know, and then they start, the more they attack me. You know what I'm saying? The more they attack me, the minute I start to like participate, you know, answering questions like in my math class now, going up on the board, you know, doing the problems correctly. In the beginning, I was like, you know, wasn't getting it right. Now I'm getting it right. Now they just start targeting the crap out of it. My first math test, you know, I know this shit, but, you know, they were targeting me so heavily, you know, to the test that when I took the test, I ended up getting a 55. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? The hardest question in the math test, the 3 or 4 hardest questions, I got them right. You know what I'm saying? It's just the other things that I could do were so many steps that I had to do that I just didn't complete the steps. You know what I'm saying? So because of me not completing the steps, you know, I didn't get full credit for those. You know, but again, that's because they were attacking me heavily, man. You know, like I said, the minute that I started answering questions, I started to, you know, and then I started doing that. You know, the students started coughing, or I started hearing police sirens and shit more and more. You know, if I go up on the board, whoop, whoop, you know, that sort of thing. You know? So, you know, it's a struggle, man. It's a struggle because, again, it's like, you know, they just don't want to see you learn. They want to keep fucking with you. So, you know, shit. When you start to, you know, to help you with your memory, they attack you even more. You know? And, you know, I can't take any more of those new natural hateful men. I can't take anything to it. You know? And then I had out of, and I didn't order for like 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? And when I finally ordered I ordered a bottle of it, you know, memory got back a little bit better. But, you know, it's tough because in one class, you know, like my other class, my circular analysis class, my test, I haven't failed the test yet, you know? I have not failed the test yet. I have not failed a quiz. But in my math class, you know what I'm saying? And the math is not hard. It's just that, you know, like I said, is that when I'm actively participating, they start attacking me heavily. Like, really bad.
How did you do on that one test that you said that you had to do the next day?
No, I did good. I did pretty good. I got, what is it? It was a quiz, and I got a 9 out of 10 correct.
Nice. Congratulations.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. That's why they do what they do, to try to get us all, you know what I'm saying, frustrated and rattled up mentally to try to throw us off track and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah. But the thing is that she was mad because they attacked me so heavily. When whenever I have my math class, and math, it's a lot of questions. You know what I'm saying, so a lot of the times, even when I'm the night up prior leading to the test, they will like attack me like crazy. They will attack me like crazy, bro. And the purpose of them doing that is against I don't remember.
Right. To disorient you.
Yeah.
Keep you like forgetful and all that. Attacking your psyche with the psychological operations, going hand in hand with the directed energy weapon attacks, and then the microwave frequencies through the remote neural monitoring all plays a role, and then your short-term memory is affected as well. Yep.
So right now, because of the call started, I was reading the article on the call. They were doing the whole sirens and shit aside.
Right. They were doing it over here also. It's just that I made sure that I covered and insulated the room a little better so it doesn't come out on the call.
Yes, nice.
Yeah. It's not always effective, though. But I think
I know. But so we'll take one little relief that we can get. Right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even if it's just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We'll take it. You know? So yeah, man. So this is what they do. They've been using these tools. The public don't know about it. That's why, again, when you look at, even on the police boards, right? In cities where you have a police board, you know what I'm saying? The police put their people on that board. Just like I talk about with Facebook, right? So Facebook's talking about how, if they found out this and that and that, but they knew about it, right? No, so that's true. But there's one of the biggest investors of that app, right? Is he's on the Facebook board, right? But then yet they'll tell you this dude going around Facebook is saying, if you find out this and find out that, but they knew about it. Come on. This is what these people do. They're on all these boards. They're on Facebook, they're on Google. That's why when they violate our privacy, they can do that.
Yeah, what up? That's how you have voluntarily give up all your privacy. And it's cool, popular, anything to do. In the meantime, people depending for, you know what I'm saying? And it's crazy, man. Right? I think now, right now he's got something going on in the background. It's all good, Nigel. Don't worry about it, man. Take your time. Appreciate you. If you hear me remove myself because my daughter just dragged up the wall, man. She's like, she just, I wasn't there because I was in the other room. Rather than this call came back in the living room and she got the whole place torn up. So now I got to be on her behind right now. So I'll be gone for like 2 minutes. I'm gonna just mute myself for 2 minutes, but I'll be back. I gotta make it. Not a problem. No worries.
Okay. All right.
Yo, Nappy, man, you on there? I saw you on the display, bro. Okay. In case you're trying to talk, Nappy, can't hear anything, bro. So if you're still there. Right, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What's going on, man? What's the verdict with you, bro? Latest out there, man.
In the UK, counting on stop though, it's been ongoing, grabbing all that. Less sirens though, a lot less sirens. I think it's because of virus. Yeah, more or less the same stuff.
Your voice sounds bad far.
Pardon me on that, but it's not being picked up.
Yeah,
So you can get close. Yeah, man, because it's not picking it up at all, bro.
It sounds like
bad far.
You hear me better now?
Yep. That's it.
Alright. Yeah, so it's basically that everyone's panic buying. Everyone's panic buying. panicking. Chanting and stuff.
Yeah, they're still doing something to your voice, man. I'm not sure what's going on, but your voice is fine now. All of a sudden it goes back like lower.
And I'm taking off loudspeaker and use the receiver.
Yeah.
Is it better now?
Now, dude, that shit is sparkling. The level meters.
Well, yeah, because it's coming through the receiver now.
Alright.
Yeah, man, basically, you know, the targeting and stops. This is the same old. There's some things that are reduced, like the sirens are reduced a bit, but I think that's because they're busy with this virus. Everyone is just panic buying. Although the targeting from my neighbours is very heavy. So,
what's been going on with your neighbours, man?
Well, they've gone out in some fake, stupid party. They're still playing the music now. It must be about 1 o'clock. Unfortunately, yeah, they've been having like this party going on or something. Even with the disco lights. Yeah, you know,
like that with disco lights and all.
Yeah, man, I took a video of it. I don't know how well it picked it out, but yeah, they got like disco lights in the house and all that shit.
Motherfuckers having a disco party. Going through the club shit. Ain't there like some
I know, that's the weird thing. It's like, why are they having a party
where you can't have a certain amount of people gathered up?
Yeah, pretty much. It's like there's no all-out law against it, but at the minute they're just telling people to stay away from each other and to not go to groups. But they have closed all of the schools, and they've closed all of the restaurants, pubs, and clubs and stuff. All that stuff.
Over here also, like after a certain time frame, like 8 p.m. for what I understand, man, that's it. You can only have like certain amount of people. Establishment people can't.
Yeah. So basically, if you're out after 8, they can arrest you pretty much.
That's, I think, how it is over here too, but I don't think the arresting thing comes into play over here until a person gets like belligerent or starts to like, fuck you, I'm not doing it, you know what I mean? Like that sort of thing, disorderly conduct. For the most part, it's going to be a ticket at first, and if people get out of hand or whatever, then they get arrested.
That's why they'll say, go home, and if you don't,
right. I mean, this shit went as far from what I read in the news article, man. In the Bronx, here in New York, man, there was some dude eating in a Mexican restaurant. Homeboy already paid for his food. He was sitting down, chowing down, bro. Police, must have passed by, saw that he was in there eating this shit, and he went in there and told him, you gotta go. You can't eat here. There's a fucking a thing out with the coronavirus, and people can't be eating in establishments, man. It's against the law right now. And he's like, man, I'm eating my fucking food, dog. I'm gonna eat. I paid for my food. I'm gonna finish eating. They made that guy get up and put his food away and arrested him because the way, he responded back or whatever the case was. So they used him like some sort of poster boy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like an example.
Yeah, that's what they like to do. Yeah, I mean, here there's no curfew. You're free to move, but it's like I saw an article today where it's saying they're going to bring in stricter measures if people don't abide by the recommendations. And to be honest, nobody's following the recommendations from what I've seen. They're all just acting like nothing's wrong. Pretty much, that's how they've been acting.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous too, So like I said, I took an Uber and I said to the guy, I said, listen, why are you not wearing any gloves or masks? I was like, you're doing a profession where people come in your cab in and out. People, you get to the hospital, they could have guessed with that shit. And he was like, I'm not worried about that and this and that. I'm just about my state. I'm like, I was like, you're like a dad. You're like a dad. Okay?
No, I mean that's the thing. I think people they think it's not that serious. But from what I've seen, it's very serious. It can be.
Yeah, because he was like, I know my body and my immune system. I said, no, you don't, man. I said, let me tell you something. I had an ulcer. I didn't even know I had an ulcer until I should ulcer chip. The doctor didn't even know I had an ulcer. Okay, and I was pretty healthy. All right, at least I thought I was pretty healthy. Okay, I said, now, come on, man, don't be stupid and don't be blind. Okay.
I'll never forget this footage from China where there was like this security guard and he just basically collapsed and started shaking on the floor from this virus. And once I saw that, I was like, yeah, this shit is not something to be trifled with. Definitely, it probably won't affect you like that, but the fact is it can affect you like that. So that alone is like, yo, man, I'm not taking any chances. Mm-hmm. I've literally been wearing a military-style mask when I go out in the town. I'll take it off in the countryside, but I'll be literally wearing that. And the looks I get are quite funny, but I'm not taking any chances. It's just dangerous. Yeah, and I haven't seen anyone here wearing a mask. I'm the only one, literally today and yesterday. I've not seen the last 2 days I've been wearing a mask. And I haven't seen a single person wearing a mask or anything like that. They're just literally acting like everything's normal, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, look, like I said people all the time, so listen, if you're young, you're healthy, most likely you'll survive it if you do get it, But why even take the chance to even put yourself at risk to even get it in the first place? Then on top of that, if you think you're so healthy, you might go, affect other people. And for people who have respiratory illnesses, like people who have asthma or people who have lung disease or what have you, or any other illness, they need to be very, very cautious about being around people who have it. Because, you have a greater chance of dying from it than if you just get the flu. That's it. Look. People die.
Terrible that time from Boris Johnson, where he's basically saying, we need to get herd immunity. So he's changed his tune. So I think he's realizing, that's a bad idea. But I saw
but people, it's true. People keep thinking that this is not the truth. Okay? You have flu-like symptoms, but this is not the truth. This basically attacks your lungs, right? And it basically fills your lungs with water. Okay? And if you're not healthy enough, the way your body's defenses can, extract that water from your lungs, your lungs are gonna fill with water and you're gonna die. You're gonna find it hard to breathe, okay? And you'll die, okay? So for people who have low immune system and that have, again, respiratory issues, most likely if you get it, there's a great chance that you will die, right?
I saw someone saying it attacks your kidneys as well, and it can do
I'm not sure about that, but guess what? Like, the kid's mom, she was in the hospital, right? And they have us on antiviral medication because hospital workers are at greater risk of contracting it.
She's got it.
So
your girlfriend got it.
She probably did. She's not my girlfriend, but she probably did. You know what I'm saying? And so they have us on like the kids have to take it once a week. I have to take it twice a week and then once every other week. Not every other week, but once every week. And so just to show you the seriousness of it, but they're not telling the public what type of antiviral to take. Okay?
Because the rich people will get it first and the politicians.
Right, exactly. And it's like that. She told me that one of the doctors, she works in the pulmonary section of the hospital, to deal with, again, lungs and something like that. His wife got in contact with somebody who had it. And I said, and this doctor took him to work. And then she was like, the doctor that treated patient ground zero, the first patient that came into the hospital with it, he didn't have no gloves or anything like that, no mask, anything like that. That's probably things that he had. But on top of that, the hospital should have been locked down. But again, the people I said, these people are running the hospital, the corporation has that Donald Trump-like mentality, and they follow the leadership of the country. So when the president is not taking it seriously, he's acting as if he's going to disappear magically, it's like his own words, that's what he said, he's going to disappear magically. You don't have a clue how pandemic works. And also in history, if you look at every pandemic that happens through history, I mean, again, this is new. This is we know about the coronavirus, right? But this is a new type of coronavirus. Okay? Just like you have many different types of flu. Some flu are more dangerous than each other. That's why every year they give you a new shot, because whatever flu is more prevalent at the time, that's the flu shot that they give, right? And we all know the reason why you get a flu shot every day, because guess what? The flu it mutates, because it mutates, because every year it gets stronger, it evolves. So the flu shot from last year is not going to help with this version of the flu. Flu virus is something that evolves every single year. Okay? And this coronavirus is called COVID-19. The reason why they call it COVID-19 is guess what? There's a COVID-18 also. There are many different strains of flu. Right? So again, this is something that's new, and this is 10 times more deadlier than the deadliest flu. Imagine that, right? You got to think about the population control, right? Because a lot of the people who are most gravely affected by this, again, are people who have illness. And then on top of that, the elderly. Okay? So, most of the elderly are the ones who are going to be dying the most. Okay? All right? So, population control, this shit didn't happen by accident. Okay?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've also heard it targets men the most, or something like that. Because, like, if this was a military-designed weapon, you wanted to disable an army.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah, I've heard it targets men the most. So it's like, if you designed a weapon, you wanted to disable an army, get it to target the men. That's the priority of the forces.
Yeah. But I know for a fact that there's a scientist who the United States blacklisted from media companies speaking to him. He's been talking about this shit for months. He said that this shit is biological warfare. A few months earlier, the World Health Organization issued a statement saying that the next type of war will be biological. Okay? So, these people are not paying.
Okay, weapons. They can just say it's a full virus and then release it.
Mm-hmm. The virus is natural, but what they do is that they take it and they weaponize it. Okay?
Yeah, I mean, what I'm saying is they can say it's natural even though it's not. It's like the perfect weapon because it leaves no trace.
Yeah, they weaponize it. They weaponize it. You know what I'm saying? And this is what they've always done with pathogens and viruses, is that they've weaponized it. They've created newer strands, stronger strands, deadlier strands. You know what I'm saying? And then, then this shit happens, right? And somehow it gets released. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that there isn't any natural virus, because the COVID-19 virus, you usually find them in bats, right? So bats are mammals that fly, that have wings, right? So, people who are eating these types of animals, most likely they'll contract it, right? And then they can go around spreading this shit. Okay? Or, like I said, when this shit happens, it happens in the first place, it happens at a seafood, a fish market or what have you, right? So we know the fish market is fish, right? So what kind of fish were they eating if they didn't get fish? Or maybe, and again, this fish market was in an area, surrounding areas where you have also a biological a research facility, right? So, you know what I'm saying? Look, there's like many explanations to this shit, but know this that there's a virus that has been weaponized to become more deadlier, and this shit got out. Okay?
There's another possibility too. They released it there in the US, make it look like it got out from there. That's another theory that too.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what though, if you look at other countries and how their leadership has, curtailed this virus from spreading, things like Italy, but again, you look at countries like Italy, right, which have a very conservative type of government. You have the most cases there. You have, these countries that are, those type of leadership is where, because they don't take this thing seriously, because again, they have their agenda. In the United States, they shouldn't have never gotten to this point if the leadership of this country would have listened. Okay?
Yeah. They just put borders. That would have helped.
Listen, man, in Malaysia, which is right next to China, okay, when they found out that this person had this illness that was never, people were just unfamiliar with, they sent a team of investigators to mainland China to investigate. Then, even without a case showing up in Malaysia, they started implementing certain public safety rules. Okay? And this shit, China reported this shit in November, right? So let's say, because we all know the Chinese government is blind, so let's say they said they first heard about it in November. I will count 3 months prior to that. Okay? So we're looking as early as, September, August, what have you. And then the United States knew about it. They knew about it since November. And the thing that bugs me the most is the intelligence of these people, because China is the producing hub of the world. Almost every shit is manufactured produced in China. You have business people traveling from all over the world into China and out of China, particularly here in the United States. But yet, our government did nothing, with no precaution, saying that it's a Chinese virus and it's only affecting Chinese people. This is what the leadership says, And all the say that whoever's in power in any country, the leadership is what affects the mentality of the people as a whole. Okay? So because the leadership in this country didn't take it seriously, people are not taking it seriously. But they should. When that whole starts climbing, then they're going to be like, oh shit, they're going to be scared of shit. Okay?
Yeah. People are just like every day. Out having a barbecue, that's how. And I had a bandana on my face out of my nose. And just looking at we'll see what happens in the next week, and I think everyone will have man. And then if it don't, I heard something that said this virus likes temperature 14, 15, 16 Celsius. Basically, coming in the spring, temperatures get to around that range very soon in the UK. I think it's explode. Yeah. Apparently it likes the temperate climate, like not too hot and not cold kind of climate.
Well, if you're running a fever of over 102, over, you should probably try to go get tested if you have it. And not you per se. I'm just talking about people in general. for those people in general, you run a temperature, you feel like you have a flu-like symptoms, and you run a temperature of 102, you should go there to make sure that you have the flu, or there is something else. You know what I'm saying? There's something cool. Because they test for the flu first, but then they also test you if it comes back negative that you don't have flu, then most likely you have the corona, the COVID-19. There's a guy I follow on YouTube. His name is he runs a audio magazine called Audioholics, and he said that this person came back from China because this company is helping him create his dream home, right? For the audio, the thing she calls the Audioholics dream home, and this company is helping him, do the audio integration into the home. And he says one of the person from the company came to visit him, and he had it. He didn't even know he had it. He got it. He said until a couple of days later, he said he started feeling sick, felt like he had the flu. Went to get a test. The test came back that he did have it. He had to self-quarantine. He can post an update on YouTube. And he's probably in his 50s, early 50s, mid 50s, what have you. And then this DJ in Atlanta, black guy, 44 years old, he died from it. Okay? So again, people need to take this thing seriously.
Yeah, I mean, I think I may have had it, but I'm not 100%. 2 weeks ago, basically my sister had something that gave her pneumonia-like symptoms, and she's got over it. But, she was never tested for it. But after she went to my family's house, I was there and she was there, I started feeling ill for about a week. I felt very drained.
Yeah.
I didn't have the temperature though, but I had all the other symptoms. I had muscle pain, headache, stuff like that. So I'm thinking maybe that was it. I don't know. But I got over it. But after those 2 days, I didn't leave the house because I was so tired. It was really drained. But I didn't have any trouble breathing or anything like that. But perhaps that was it. I don't know. But I definitely had some kind of illness, and I'll be honest, it was like nothing I've experienced before. It was very weird, I don't know, it was just kind of symptoms would come and go. Sometimes I'd wake up, it was there, and then it would disappear, be back the next day, bad, and then it'd be gone again, and then be back bad the next day. Weird, man. I don't know if that was it or not. Could have been.
Yeah.
This was around the time before they were really taking it seriously, and my sister goes to university. She came back from there to see my family. So I'm thinking perhaps someone from there had it.
That happened, yeah.
Yeah, and then on. I got my mum or dad got it, but I definitely felt very great. I didn't have a temperature. Felt great.
And not everybody's going to have all the symptoms, right? So just like you have, like for example, here in New York, there's been I think over 8,000 confirmed cases of it. And I can't remember how many deaths, right? So they have the deaths associated with it, right? So it's not to say the deaths are the majority, but it's the opposite, right? Where people who have gotten it have lived through it. But again, like I said, there are going to be some people who are going to die from this stuff. Now, do you want to stand the risk of possibly being one of those persons? You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to take it seriously, because you don't know, and you never want to take that risk. Yeah, well, and people say something like that, I always tell them, I say, You know what I tell them? I said, if you think it's not real, why don't you go to the hospital? Right? Go to the hospital. Go to the emergency room. Okay? If you think it's not real. And I guarantee you they're not going to go. Okay? Like a kid I posted on Facebook about 9/11, saying 9/11 was fake and 9/11 never happened. And I was like, what are you talking about? Okay? On 9/11, I saw this shit on TV. If Hollywood was such a, if that was fake, when I went down there and I saw the rubble and everything, I would tell you that shit is fake because the Twin Towers are still standing. Right? But it's not. Okay? I said, so when people who don't know shit talk some shit like that, it's very misleading, it's very deceptive, and it's downright dangerous. 9/11 happened. Those Twin Towers came down. Okay? You can go down there right now and to see where those buildings were. Okay? Those buildings are not there anymore. Right?
Pulls of it, we for a while government
yeah, now if you want to talk about whether the United States was implicit in allowing it or being a part of it, that's another story. But don't talk about it. Don't tell me that it didn't happen. It's like, don't tell me about the Holocaust in Germany didn't happen. Okay? It happened, right? But that's what I said. Why do you think the German people right now, you can't even deny that the Holocaust happened because they don't want the past to be mistake to be repeated. If you're going to deny it, that means it's probably going to happen again. But the Holocaust did happen. You want to talk about whether, how many 6 million Jews or 9 million Jews died? Have a debate on that. But don't say that it didn't happen. It did happen. So we have to, I think there's still people who, question, history, especially when there's overwhelming proof of it. Because we all know about the Nuremberg trial, we saw it. There's archival footage of it. We know that the United States brought in Nazi scientists, psychologists, sociologists. We know that. But Project Paperclip, right? So we know that. Okay. So you can't deny it didn't happen. You may deny how many millions of Jewish people died. I'm not going to fault you for that because sometimes numbers get inflated. But to say that it never happened, like the Nazis didn't put tens of thousands of people in gas chambers, not all at once, of course, but you know what I'm saying, and gas them to death. Can't deny that. There's plenty of evidence of that.
The building.
Exactly.
I think people maybe don't know what
oh yeah, probably. Do you have any change?
I think they just want to hold all the math out for probably why they go on. Who knows? I just wonder how long this lasts.
Yeah. Basically, what they have to do while they're working on the kill is to make sure that this thing doesn't spread, like really, really spread. You know what I'm saying? That means a lot more people will be at risk. I mean, this isn't the time where you had the bubonic plague across Europe, where there was no, people didn't know how to handle these things. You know, so they couldn't. They try to isolate people as best as they can, but most of the people were poor and were living in, these one space houses or living environments. They're very close to each other. And plus, they never had the sanitation that they do now. So things are a lot better now. Yeah. And like this happened, okay? That when it comes to the infection rate is going to go down, right? So it's not going to be as high. Even though here in New York, 8,000 cases, over 8,000 cases is high. Okay? And it's going to get worse. And just people are just ignorant. People are just ignorant to the fact that, that is a lot, like you said, a lot of people think it's fake. So imagine if you have it, you think it's fake, you're going to go around passing that shit around to anybody.
I hope it wasn't that
Listen, I went out today, I wore gloves. I didn't have a mask, but I wore gloves.
I'd recommend wearing
So what you gotta do too is also take a lot of vitamin C. Okay, take a lot of vitamin C. And I know RT had them bring it to you guys. I hope you still have it. Keep drinking it, and your mother too. Yeah. Listen, guys, I was eating. I gotta finish up eating. But I'm gonna go now. I think at school tomorrow. I'm doing online classes, so I think I gotta get up early to have my first class at 8 and so math homeschool the kids. Which I don't know how I'm going to do that tomorrow, but I'm gonna try because they have a full day of school too, online also. So But Artie, if you're there, I'm gonna say good night. Say good night to you, bro. And we'll see if you say good night to you. All right. So you guys have a good night. Be safe. Take care. Don't put yourself at risk.
Yo, Nige, you gonna bounce?
Yeah.
All right. Yo, how's your hip, man?
Oh, it's better. It's better. I think I gotta watch, how I bend, especially with this side now more so than ever. But it's gotten better. I've been using CBD oil to rub on it, and that helps tremendously. It's a cannabis oil.
Okay. Oh, word. So that actually is effective.
Yeah. That helped me a lot. Okay. I mean, this thing. Like the pain over the weekend. Last weekend was so excruciating, and I've been using it. I started using it on Sunday, and by Wednesday, my hip was so much better.
Nice. That's good news.
I'm saying? So yeah, well, thanks for asking, bro. That's all I'm saying, just be safe, man.
No doubt,
be
man.
safe, make sure, that you have gloves. I'm saying, you gotta wear a mask, but make sure you have gloves.
Yeah,
I'm saying?
Tomorrow, man, like you already know, what I'm saying? So I gotta definitely wear all that stuff, man.
Yeah, and then also walk it, if you, get some Lysol and, spray, You know what I'm saying? You got, around you, what have you, if you're handling, boxes or whatever, or any shit. Like, you don't spill, much to say, but,
I mean, I usually do have, like, the gloves that I wear since I started.
Yeah.
No more through the spot boys and shit like that. So, yeah, man, I appreciate that. I will definitely keep that in my mind, though, for future reference and to tell people as well, man. Yo, if anything, Nigel, when I get out of work, more or less, by or something, I get home, try to chill, eat or something, I'll give you a holler. You know what I mean? Around 5-ish. I don't know if you'll be available. But if you're not, what I'll do is I'll text you first, find out what you're doing. Busy and then from there we'll take it from there. But during the week, that's more or less the time frame now. I gotta readjust to my time schedule because you already know I worked overnight before at the after hours club and shit. Now I'm doing this, so I fucking completely changed my whole fucking dynamics, bro. The day to from overnight to day shift. But it is what it is. Hopefully it's more temporary than anything else, man. But what's happening? Yo, you have a good night, man, and we'll come tomorrow or some point this week.
Yeah, all right, bro. All right? So peace out. Take care.
Without peace. Good night. How you feeling, man? You all right?
Yeah, I'm okay. A little bit sleepy, but...
Appreciate you, though. Appreciate you for hanging in there, man, and sticking on. Just being there, man, and trying to maintain, because I know this ain't your hours, man. I'm out at this time, man. Right now, what? It's 9:41 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here. And I'm assuming over there it's like, what, 2 in the morning? 2:41 in the morning? I'm assuming, because you said it's a 5-hour difference, right?
I'll have a look.
Oh, okay, 1:41.
It's 1:41 here.
Yeah, I heard.
Nearly
Well, it's not that bad, but it's still, these aren't your hours to be up this shit. But I appreciate you, though, for getting in there. Regardless. Top of the way you're feeling, man, because from what I overheard when you were talking to Nigel, you had mentioned I'm feeling good, man. We could have something,
Oh, no, I'm okay now. It was 2 weeks ago I felt ill. I feel fine now, but I felt ill for about a week. Headache, muscle pain, cold-like symptoms, and coughing and stuff. I got that because my sister had pneumonia for about 2 weeks. She's okay. But I went to my family's house. She came over, and I started feeling ill after that. And I felt very tired for about a week. But for 2 days, I was so tired I didn't leave the house. But I stayed in, kept eating healthy. I didn't notice any breathing difficulties that this stuff can do. But I had a lot of symptoms that made me think it could have been. I've never had anything like that before that felt like that. But it's weird, man. Check it out. Like, I forgot to mention this. This is the best way I can describe it. When I had this, whatever it was, at some point, like, it fucked with my coordination. And it was like, I know it's hard to describe, but I'll describe the best way I can. It felt like I was being pulled into the floor. It felt like something was pulling me down. Weird, man. But that's what it felt like. But whatever it was, I beat it. But I guess that makes sense, that the people fainting and stuff, if they're feeling like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, I'm glad to hear that you're over it, though. It was like 2 weeks ago. Nothing that stays stagnant within your system up to this point. Because at that point, that would be bad. Obviously, there would be something, possibly close to this virus, which is not. And I'm glad it's not that, man. Get that you're in good health at this point, or at least So, one thing, man, I try to always, tell you about in the past, man. If you can, try to see if you can do some sort of physical exercise at home. Nothing major, something that will just get your cardiovascular going and build up a little sweat. You know what I mean? That's always good for the immune system to kick in because that's what needs to be the strongest. And when it comes down to fighting off any type of disease or viruses, you know what I mean? You need to have your immune system at optimal level to be able to withstand and fight back any type of viruses and infections and things of that nature. I just suggest that, man. And also, what you put me up on, man, if you can get your hands on it, which is the wheatgrass juice.
Oh yeah, I've still got some of that. The wheatgrass stuff.
So that shit right there, man, works wonders, man. I'm telling you, because I had ordered some in powdered form, and it's called Super something. I think it's Super Wheatgrass, something like that. It's powdered form, though. And basically, I take it with my moms every morning, what have you. We started recently again in the springtime is when we switched it up to from the hot tea in the winter and fall over to that, which is room temperature. That stuff has definitely worked for us, man. In regards to strengthening our immune systems and also our DNA structures, like reinstating it somehow, like you know what I mean? Because that's what that shit does, from what I read up on it, and you put me up on too.
Get some more of that. I've still got some on it. Yeah, that stuff is.
So what else been going on, man, out there, man, in your neck of the woods in regards to this stuff, man? Not necessarily only Irish stuff, but anything in relation to your targeting. Do you notice that shit slowing down? Like over here, for myself, I noticed that these motherfuckers ain't really deep the way they were before. It's almost like they lost a lot of staff, you know what I mean? Behind this virus, like they ain't fucking around too much. They still there, but they're not as deep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Nappy kind of confirmed that to me from the West Coast end as well. Nigel earlier today kind of said the same thing. So I was wondering over there for you in the UK, how has that been holding itself up as far as the numbers with the targeting?
It's been out, but yeah, I agree. Now, come to think of it, there's been less. They do seem kind of shocked to come out. But one thing I have noticed is when I wake up in the morning, it's really quiet. Like fear this. So, yeah, man, it's like weird. Like it's kind of impressed by this virus. I've noticed a lot. One thing I have noticed is a lot less revving. They've still been doing it. That's what they have been doing. Like at night time, they've not been revving at night time. So I think they're scared for some reason out at night time. I've not noticed many sirens. There was sirens when I left the house. But yeah, I agree. It seems to have put the fear in some of them to not come out. You know what I mean?
Right. Over here, yeah, it is a good thing, man. Like Nigel said earlier, we'll take anything that we can get as far as, you know what I'm saying? Well, at least the temporary well-being or what have you. Yeah, sirens been going on a little more than anything else. Like that's one of the things they've kept kind of ongoing. Not as intense or anything like that. It's just they've been using that more to make up for physical, you know what I'm saying, surveillance. If that makes sense.
Oh, yeah. Here it's like local labor perks targeting. Maybe they're anticipating they won't be able to use the people, so they're getting them to work overtime. Still playing music right now. Not very loudly, but I can hear it.
You know about the disco fucking feature?
Yeah, that old stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's not as loud as it was, but I can still hear it.
What kind of music they playing? Like what, 80s, 70s music?
Modern music, so like house, stuff like that mostly. Now than like electronic. They're just wasting their time with this call, and I'm not going to say. Well, it's not enough to keep my background noise.
Right.
I guess its intention is they want it to annoy me.
Yeah.
I like children.
Oh yeah. That's the perfect description for 'em.
I can hear them now more.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Hold on.
So, but that wall rat.
Oh, he's long gone. He's still here, but he's not being doing any targeting. I think he got the message loud and clear that if he does it, then hopefully.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Fuck these fuckers. Sometimes it takes that, man. See?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Very quiet. And I don't really see much of him anymore. Not doing the old stupid antics. It's supposed to be the opposite side. People, whether they have, so they've been using the dogs to target me. I'm starting to think that half of these families that are in here aren't actually real families, because, like, the dog, what to me, has been in the house in front of them. It's like they've been having a dog with two different, like, maybe these people in the side and the related perps on, they don't like me at all. Nearly all of them in that family, or whoever they are, heavily involved in my targeting. And they've put it in my face more, this year, like letting me know, yeah, we're doing this. I've been getting in their face too. Yeah, it's like the dogs that they have been going. It's like, how come it's going in one house in the day? In the day, it goes in the house on the front of mine, and then at night, it goes into the house to the left side. They've basically been using that as a way to do the noise campaign. They just let it bark, and it barks and barks and barks, and they just let it bark. You know what I mean? And it has been barking late into the night. It's not kept me awake, but it's been kind of annoying. I think the dog is different. It does make sense. How's it been yours?
It's been pretty much the same thing.
Like mellows out. Like when I say that it hasn't been heavy as it usually is with the physical appearance of these motherfuckers. I go, I mean they're there, but it's like lagging. Like a lot less of them and whatnot. It's almost like they're short staffed and whatnot. That makes sense, which is a good thing for us. You know what I mean? But they're definitely there. They try to make up with more police presence and shit. Even they're also not as heavy. Or the ambulances or the firemen and fire trucks is less. It's a lot less. But there's more of the civilian perps at times that may seem like they want to make it look like they're all still there by camouflaging their movements and making them seem bigger than what they are, but they're not. You know what I mean? Like I can see through it because I already know them like clockwork. I know how they operate, how they work, more or less how they are, dispatching them, where they're going to be, because they're going to be where I'm going to be at. So I already know who to look for that's out of place. And if I see the same face before, I got a great memory, so I already know what time it is with that person. Feel me?
Yeah. It's like this, over here, they kind of replacing them, but not much less, but there's been less. I guess some of them are saying, nah, fuck that, we're not coming out with this virus. You know what I mean?
Yeah, these motherfuckers probably have half a brain in their head. They realize, yo, man, it ain't worth it. You know what I'm saying?
More stupid ones or hardcore ones can still come out. But...
Right.
I mean, today I saw one headlight car. I think I saw one brake light car. Curves from the two full of people. They've kept their distance. I think the reason for that is partly because of the time. I've got it. They probably know, you know what I mean? They probably know my sister's been ill, but they probably think I could have the coronavirus. Might make sense of why they're keeping away from me. You know what I mean? They probably know that. I don't know if she does have it or not, and it's better now, but you know, they probably know through the remote neural monitoring that I was ill. So, and through my text messages, because I told my dad I was ill. Perhaps that's why they're not wanting to come in. I think I have. I'm pretty sure I don't now feel okay, but they can't. Not good optimistic. Always targeting him and he comes up to him and then getting fired.
Right. I got you. Yo, so man, if anything, I'm gonna shut the call down for tonight, man. And it's been alright, man. It's been a decent call. We had some decent info from Nigel, as usual. You know what I'm saying? It's been a minute. A couple of calls since he's been on again. And it's because he was trying to get through, and apparently I had no idea he was calling. He said the call just kept going through call waiting or to voicemail, and I didn't get any notifications. So this happened also to Nappy as well before. So I could definitely confirm that these motherfuckers have been playing games with my phone in that way, as we already know. But you know how we do. We always regroup and we come back and we speak on what has been happening to each other in that aspect, and then we find ways to circumvent shit. And I've already figured out a way, which I'm not going to disclose on the call publicly, but amongst ourselves privately. So you already know. Right, tomorrow, within this week, man, being that I'm working now day shift again, temporarily, hopefully I go back to my whole gig. But just saying, for right now, so if you want, you can holler at me, man, during the week after, let me see, that would be 10 p.m. your time?
Tomorrow?
Yeah, after 10 p.m. your time this whole week, if you want, man. I can make some time to speak to you guys, man.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, man, get your rest, brother, because I know that you've been fighting that sleep for a while now, man, and I would definitely appreciate that, man, coming from you, because I know it's not easy. So you have a good night, you sleep well, man, and we'll talk tomorrow, man, or whenever you want to hit me up this week, all right? After 10 p.m. your time.
All right, no problem.
All right, brother.
All right.
Sleep well.
All right, none. All right.
Peace. Hi, yo, this is RTTI in New York City. About to shut down the call. Was a decent call, like I had said. Nigel always comes through shining with great information for us and shares out there with the public at large on this call. And of course, the EI/TIs, the handful of the ones that are actually, you know, listening or what have you, which is appreciated, because I'd rather much have genuine people than a whole bunch of fake people listening to this call. Like I have on the squad, we have a chosen few for a reason. In any case, we'll be back next week with another one. And just stay tuned. Everybody be safe out there with this whole coronavirus shit. Try to see if you can get an N95 mask And from what I understand, even your eyes need to be covered, like with some sort of goggles. I don't know if you could afford a face mask like that because they tend to be somewhat expensive. I don't know why these people don't. I mean, they got the freaking money for this program. You know that they can do something about that, but they're not. You know what I mean? So we have to do what we got to do to survive and get going and shit. NV mask, I believe the one that Knight had brought up earlier, which he owns there in the UK. I mean, that's a bit much, you know what I mean? Like, but if you can afford it and you wouldn't mind walking around with something like that, you would definitely be a lot more protected with that because your eyes are covered, like goggles, and then your nose and your mouth, which is highly important. Those are the areas where that seeps through, you know. Try to wear latex gloves or even the gloves that I wear now at my new gig as a stock boy in a supermarket. I'm wearing these gloves that are, I guess you could say, they kind of look like construction gloves, but they're not. They have like this fitting where the outside is a lot more rougher. And it has like through the hand area where you grab stuff, it has like this rubbery type of grip to it. So yeah, those things are good to keep you from getting infected and stuff like that too, temporarily, I guess you can say. But just try to maintain, you know, your cleanliness as much as possible, washing your hands multiple times a day, you know, that sort of thing. Having some Lysol handy would probably be a good thing, a small little can or something like that for the home. Yeah, and just try to limit your outdoor activity to really necessary things that you have to do. Other than that, that's all I have to say for tonight. I appreciate everyone on the squad that was able to show up. Shout out to Night of Thunder who showed up. Shout out to Raw True 7 who showed up, but he had to remain in the background for reasons that I will not disclose at the moment. But appreciate you still showing up either way. Nappy Head Roots showed up. He was in the building as well, but he was like chilling in the cut, which is okay as well. I don't know if he was able to speak. Maybe he could and tried and we didn't hear him because that happens too. They mess with his phone as well. Shout out to you, Nat, for being there as usual. Shout out to Nigel Nicholson, the one and only, you know what I'm saying? Like always, coming in with the with that fire, man. You know, with that fire information, man, and educating everyone that comes in contact with your particular information gathering and spreading of awareness that you do with your signature ways that we all appreciate. And that's pretty much it, man. That's all the members of the squad that were on the call, including myself. We'll be back again at some point next weekend with another one. Take care out there, be safe, and just keep in mind that everything that happens not only happens for a reason, but sometimes things happen to make people realize certain things. And those things tend to get more crystallized as time goes by when the drama gets nearer and nearer and doom seems like it's going to be taking over. That's when the fear sets in. Be careful with that fear because that fear can make you do things that you can't take back later on. And with that being said, this is RTTI in New York City. Signing out.
DJ Chicken can make it work every time. So we better get up, stand up for your rights. Or someone would say we're coming in from the cold. Or another one would say the sun is shining and the weather is sweet. And someone would say, is this love? And everyone would say everything. Let's move it. Dying to go to heaven and we know and we understand. Almighty God is a living man. You can fool some people sometimes, but you can't fool all the people all the time. And now you see the light.